So this was it. This was my last chance to qualify for Nice World Champs in Ironman Leeds, UK. I've been in a qualifying position all day, right until the last 5K. So I'm going to take you through how it went down and how I gave absolutely everything to try and make it happen.
See the middle?
That is nice. I was fit, I was pretty confident coming off the back of Swansea 70.3 where I'd had a decent performance. So yeah, I was actually really looking forward to it. So there was actually no travel stress because obviously I'd just come from Cardiff, so it was just an easy drive, no flights or anything like that. However, I'd been feeling a little bit flat since Swansea, not amazing. It was quite tough to get over it. I'd had a bit of a headache and backache since the race, which I later found out was actually shingles. So a bit rubbish. On the day at least, I felt ready and that's what really mattered. Okay, so it's 4:30-ish, transition's about to open. And turns out, we discovered last night, I've got shingles. So not ideal. It is what it is. I will have to just deal with it, obviously. It's a bit uncomfortable because my lower back's got those like rashy spots and they're picking, but I slept okay last night and I feel relatively awake. I'm just gonna give it my best today and see how that goes, but it's never ideal starting an Ironman uncomfortable because it's an uncomfortable thing to do anyway. Anyway, look at this.
Okay? Yeah. Thoughts?
My back hurts a little bit.
Yeah, but you've only just taken paracetamol.
Yeah, it'll be alright.
How much? I haven't seen this chamois cream before. You'd think that like there would be a good working order.
Good what?
Just a lump of stuff on the floor.
Alright, yeah.
Yoink. Ooh.
Proper in there. The swim went really well. I got to start in the place where I wanted to. I got a pretty decent start and I managed to slot into a gap in the group, which I thought that was going to be really productive. In the top like 3, I think Cincenzo was leading, then Kieran, and then I managed to slot in behind Kieran, and then it was Sam Laidlow behind me. So yeah, I thought that was a really good, strong position to be in. And then we rolled turns, took turns on the front, and when it was Sam's turn, absolutely bolted, tried quite hard to stay on his feet, which I did. And then that broke up the group a little bit more. So I think it was a group of like 6 or 7 before that, which then whittled it down to 4. And that's who came out of the water at the end of the 1.9k or 3.8k swim together, just the 4 of us, and had a little gap to the group behind. So that was good. It went really well for a wetsuit swim, felt really comfortable, and don't really have any complaints. Just went as planned. The bike course had been the talk of the race because of its elevation and the steep climbs that it had in it. Black Hill, which I think I did about 410 watts for 5 minutes going up it, roughly. And in the middle of it, a little bit more than that, going up the 15% gradient. But overall, I managed to normalise, not that this is the important number, I normalised 310 watts for the course, which is pretty normal for me. and had a good ride. It did again, like I thought, suit me with slow rolling sticky roads, and I managed to come off the bike in 3rd place behind Sam Laidlow and Nathan, because they were up the road absolutely flying. But I managed to ride actually most of the race with Kieran and Harry, so it was really nice to be able to like kind of roll turns, share the load with them. But not that you got much aid from each other, because it was so hilly and so kind of like just bitty, I think the course was. So you had to turn quite often. The roads were pretty slow, so you're not going that fast ever to get a good drafting benefit at 12 meters, of course. But yeah, it wasn't one that you could actually really use one another other than mentally, just kind of like having people around you, being able to kind of like push each other and keep each other honest and keep the pace on. So yeah, that was a benefit. I think the last 50k, it ended up just being me and Harry. And then towards the back end, I did roll off the front of that, of Harry and I again. I was riding the course slightly differently to Harry, but we ended up coming to T2 pretty much together. So we ended up actually finishing the bike together and being in T2 at the same time, had a little natter, and then got off onto the run. It was quite good that I managed to put a bit of time into Kieran on the bike. I think I put about 6 minutes into him on the bike, because there was only 3 World Championship slots, and Nathan was already up the road and he would have taken one. Sam doesn't count because he just needed to validate, but Nathan was up the road by quite some way. Harry is a much better runner than I am, and Kieran is as well. So having 6 minutes on Kieran was a good like move to play at the time, because then I had a bit of a buffer on the run where I knew I wasn't quite as good, or anywhere near as good. So it was all about trying to hold on then until 42.2k. So that's kind of what was on my mind leading into this run. So I'd put myself in a great position to be competitive. I came out of T2 with Harry, my legs felt fantastic. I kind of expected him to just run off into the distance, but actually he kept it very controlled. And I ended up actually running with him. So it was slightly higher pace than what I would have gone, but at the same time I thought mentally it's much better for me to just stick with him, let him set the pace, just kind of follow and not have to worry about how fast or hard I'm running, and just kind of go with it, because it wasn't a million miles off what I'd intended on holding. So it worked really well, and we kept each other company, we had a bit of a chat. It's a really weird effort, an Ironman effort, because you're not like aerobically strained, but like physically, obviously you get under a lot of damage towards the back end. So yeah, we're having a bit of a chat, keeping each other honest, and managed to do about 22k with Harry before he pushed on, which was great for me. It worked really well and was really kind of appreciative of that as well. At that point, I still had about 4 minutes on Kieran. So about halfway into the run, I had 4 minutes on Kieran, but he was closing and not quick enough to take the spot or overtake me. But at the same time, I knew that there was still a long way to go. So I did another 10k at a similar sort of pace. Again, he put about 30 seconds to a minute into me, which wasn't going to be enough for the next 10k, because obviously if he did another 10k at the same pace as what I'd intended to, then that would only be, well, I'd have taken it by 2 minutes. Unfortunately, that was not the case. My legs came apart and I capitulated, and I think about 5k from the end, he overtook me and put another 2 minutes into me, which was really disheartening, and I'm obviously gutted, but I couldn't have done much more on the day other than maybe consume more, like hydration and nutrition. But yeah, I gave it my best, and it was a really good marathon for me still. I think I did a 2:53 marathon, 2:56 on paper, just because it was a little bit long. But on that sort of course, after that sort of day, I was pretty pleased with it, in all honesty. But yeah, I mean, 5th place, I missed out on the slot by 2 minutes, so I was obviously disappointed, but at the same time really proud of my performance. I think I did everything that I could on the day. Yes, it wasn't perfect. I could have done slightly more maybe, and on reflection, there are things that I could have, should have done. But, you know, I gave it my best, and I am disappointed, I am. But yeah, I'll just reset, reload and go again for the back end of the season. I've got quite a lot of confidence now. I kind of think I know what I'm doing in terms of physically and kind of execution wise. So now it's a case of just going away, kind of staying fit and healthy, getting fit and healthy after the shingles. It's been a pretty bad week for me this week. My back is in pieces, but yeah, no, it's taken the pain away from the actual kind of like DOMs of the Ironman is one thing, but yeah, anyway. If you're an age grouper and you're watching this, just know that if you're going through a rough patch, you've just got to trust the process, trust the journey, and just get on with it, because at the end of the day, I think if you just put yourself out there and keep at it, you'll achieve your goals. And yes, I missed out on this one, but maybe your goal is just to complete an Ironman or just to get a PB or whatever it is. If you just keep at it and trust the process, I think that's the best thing that you can do, and yeah. So no world champs for me this year, which is, yeah, sad, but at the same time, not the end of the world. I think it just means that I have to build towards something else this season, and that goal will be equally as interesting, I imagine. But we'll see, I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you want to know any more, there are links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.